Hi, my name is Wylie, and today I'll be talking to you about self-driving cars. Autonomous but ethical? When you travel, do you go by train, bus, or car? Well, if you're a driver, you'll be familiar with navigating traffic, parking in tight spaces, and wondering about where to fill up. This is often stressful. It takes valuable time and effort. Well, just imagine how much calmer you'd be if the car did all the driving. Parking wasn't necessary, and you charged up overnight at home. You'd be relieved, you'd be calmer, ready for your day, for all the meetings that you have, for all the people waiting to talk with you. Now just imagine this isn't just about you or making your day better. What if we aimed to eliminate car accidents and reduce our carbon footprint as ethically as possible? A true ethical future for self-driving cars begins not only with roadway concerns, but also with the programming of artificial intelligence and the extraction of raw materials, often in the global south. Let's start with AI in relation to the trolley paradox. Imagine a trolley about to switch tracks. If the trolley continues forward, it will kill 5 people. But given the opportunity to switch tracks, it will only kill 1 person, an 8-year-old child. Who lives? Why? What goes into our reasoning in this very tough decision? Often, on our roadways, drivers unfortunately face equally as tough ethical dilemmas. But remember, people have a consciousness and instincts. Accidents do happen, and up until now, society has accepted human error. In fact, 95% of car accidents are caused by human error. What happens if we introduce AI? In theory, self-driving cars will eliminate this human-based uncertainty. The outcomes of accidents will be determined through statistical reasoning performed by AI. But have enough hypothetical situations and outcomes been tested to prevent all accidents? Ultimately, the limit is how this AI is programmed. Who decides who lives and who dies? Can you even program that? For example, when a pedestrian with noise-canceling earbuds walks into open traffic, what are drivers supposed to do? Can we trust AI's reliance on statistical reasoning to replace human instincts? Would AI do better in this situation than a human? Before I go further, let's look back. In 1925, a radio-controlled car named the American Wonder piqued interest. And 14 years later, the 1939 World's Fair showcased electromagnetic technology, which moved along through the early 1960s. Then came a real test, exploration of the moon with the remote-controlled lunar rover. The next 3 decades integrated predictive and visual modeling with computer and camera technologies. But even in the 21st century, we have a big problem to conquer: the behavior of people not in the car. Here, developers have collaborated with universities and militaries. In AI self-driven cars today, there are at least 7 main sensor systems. Braking systems are paramount, and here LiDAR monitors distance, speed, and obstacles. Radar helps too. Ultrasonic sensors assist with parking and changing lanes. Front cameras read signs, infrared sensors, and night vision to detect not only other cars, but the movements of animals and pedestrians. But even with all this progress, there are still frontiers to conquer. Prototypes and test grounds are important. California, United States, is the primary test ground for driverless vehicles. To troubleshoot functionality, test drives must be conducted and crashes are expected. You have to break an egg to make an omelet, right? Because of this, California now has the highest rate of autonomous vehicle accidents. With thousands of hours of test drives, AI can make accidents rarer and less fatal. But this presumes that all cars are autonomous and that pedestrians are not part of the equation. But people, you, me, all of us, walk around with or without our noise-canceling earbuds. We are not programmable, at least as of yet. Can we program cars to avoid us? Now let's add more information. Who are the passengers in other autonomous vehicles? Future AI may use data on age, gender, and perhaps even health of those in other cars in making critical decisions to minimize accidents. This is the trolley paradox where I began. This is no longer about human error, but the choices that programmers, think tanks, and even perhaps governments will and are making about these hypothetical situations. We all need to take seriously who is in charge of these ethical dilemmas. Yet passengers and pedestrians are only one part of this ethical conundrum. AI and self-driving cars are also linked to ideals of sustainability. There's been great progress towards energy efficiency. Electric power can have nearly zero carbon emissions. Solar panels on electric cars can power internal electrical systems, such as lighting, radio, built-in screens, and charging. This sounds good, right? In fact, it sounds sustainable. But let's unpack this scenario a bit more. Most new smart tech for self-driving cars, especially the computers and batteries, require significant amounts of extraction of both cobalt and lithium. Together, these materials create the lithium-ion battery, a key need for self-driving cars. These materials are often located in the global south. These areas are at great risk. For example, 70% of the world's cobalt is extracted from the DRC, and the World Bank estimates demand will increase 585% by 2050. Another example, indigenous lands and people in Argentina have been threatened by the rush to mine lithium, commonly referred to as white gold. Communities have had little power against the increasing demand for lithium that has grown by 235% in the last 2 years. So despite this superficial sustainability for self-driving cars, the current and future demands for both cobalt and lithium are ethically challenging and perhaps unsustainable. So how do we rationalize safer roads against rapacious mining and environmental and social decay? In closing, I'm asking myself, why are we so focused only on the lives of passengers and pedestrians? Ethically, might we take a step back and take a more global perspective? Saving lives includes not only the lives of passengers and pedestrians, but also those involved in the necessary extraction of these materials in the first place to create such vehicles. In sum, we need to take steps forward to think more holistically and consider all the safety, societal, ethical, and ecological aspects on this topic before moving ahead too fast and having to make a trolley paradox decision of our own. Thank you for listening.